Don't you just love having to figure out what you're going to eat for dinner almost every night, unless you have leftovers or order pizza? Okay, I have no idea what to call this, and I could probably not ever replicate it again, maybe. But this is what I'm throwing together. Okay, I have ground chicken. I'm going to start with making chicken meatballs. Panko. Like about a cup. I don't use, an egg, because I find the chicken to have enough, juiciness to it, and it comes, makes a good bowl where I don't really need an egg. A metric ton of garlic or 2 tablespoons. Okay. I found this. So when you go onto Walmart and you just put in Better Good, it has different sections like seasoning, dairy, pantry, snacks, stuff like that. And I picked seasoning and I scrolled through there, and this was one of theirs, buttery pesto seasoning. It has a lot of different, that's way too small for me to read. So I'm just going to put in it's probably 2 to 3 tablespoons. Okay. And of course, onion powder. No, I have it somewhere here. Oh, I'm going to put in a little bit of poultry seasoning. Why not? It's probably like a teaspoon. Pat it. Okay. I'm looking for onion powder. I know I have it. This seasoning right here is really good on steak. Okay. Found it. Some onion powder. A tablespoon. I like things that are savory, that have flavor to them. Let's see, a little bit of salt and pepper. Probably like a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, because that poultry seasoning does have salt in it, I believe, but some poultry seasonings are unsalted. And probably the same 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Okay. Get a covered dish. So you have something to put your meatballs in. I'm going to spray it lightly with some extra virgin olive oil spray. Okay. Tie the hair back. And then I'm going to put on these gloves, because I don't like to touch raw meat. I feel like I can never get my hands clean enough, and I don't want the raw meat to go under my nails and not be able to get it out. Okay. You can put in here too a squirt of ketchup. I think I might do that too. Oh, you got to put in some Parmesan cheese. I'm going to put in the rest of this. If I wasn't going to put in the rest of this, then I would have taken my gloves off, this glove off, because I did stick my finger in the chicken. But since I'm throwing this bag away, this is probably a little bit less than a cup to a cup. With garlic and onion powder and cheese, you just measure with your heart, right? Dang it, why is it every time that you can't touch your nose, your nose itches? Okay. I always like to mix my ingredients that I'm going to mixing with whatever meat. When I'm making a meatball, I like to mix that all together first. Mixy, mixy. Okay. You can't really see it, but see, just mixing it. Okay. Now we're gonna make meatballs, whatever size you want. I'm gonna make little ones, because then they won't take as long to cook. Or you could make big ones. You can make a meatloaf out of this. My oven's already preheated. Okay. This size. It's small. I mean, it's not a baby one. It's a small one. See, I usually like to use a little scoopy because then they're all the same size, but that's a pain in the tukish to wash. Because I like to do mine by hand to make sure all the meat stuff got out of the, underneath the stuff and everything. The little cookie scoop thing. I like to make sure all the meat got out of there. So I hand wash it real good and then I dishwash it. Hello, I'm a germaphobe. So write to me below and tell me, what dish is your go-to dish? Do you have a dish that you make once a week that your family's like, oh, could you make this? Like when I was a kid, it was, I don't remember ever asking my mother to cook anything specific during the work week. Not that I can remember anyway. I probably did, but I can't remember. But you had your meatloaf, your spaghetti night, hot dogs and pierogies. You won't catch me eating a hot dog now. Ugh, no. What else? Steakums. We ate steakums. Hello, kids I was born in 1979, so 80s, 90s. We went to the co-op where she worked. There was a co-op that she joined. And it was, before you had your BJ's and your Costco and Sam's Club and stuff. It was kind of like that. And you would place your order, I don't know how far in advance. If it came once a month, I think, you would place your order on a printout sheet. You would check what you wanted and the quantity. Okay. And then you would go, line up. They would set up, the ladies that worked with my mother. They also did this, I think, as just donating their time, I think. They would set up all the food that people ordered, frozen food, like your steakums, but in big quantities, things like that. I remember steakums mostly. I don't know why that sticks out most, but so you'd go around, they'd have a horseshoe. You go around with your paper. Yep, got 2 of those. You show, yep, 1 of those. You'd go around and you'd pick, and then at the end, somebody would check to make sure that you've remembered all your items. And yeah, I used to like going because my mother worked with a couple of nice ladies that helped put that together and stuff. So yeah, I forget what their names are, but my mother would definitely know. Okay. So how many meatballs did we get? 4, 8, 12, 18. Good. Okay. So we got 18 meatballs. Just lined them up like that. Okay, now I'm going to cut some stuff up and put it in there. I like to clean as I go. I'm going to put the garlic away. Put the seasoning back. Okay. Need to get a cutting board. And this. Okay. I'm gonna cut whatever potato you have. I'm using Baby Gold potatoes. They cook quick and you don't have to peel them. Let's see, 1, 2, how many do I have left here? I'm just gonna use the rest. I have 3, 6, 8, no, 9. This size. I'm gonna cut them, wash them, put them in the same pan. No. Here's the one I was looking for. Okay. Let's see if I can get you up there so you can see it. There you go. Alrighty. So yeah, so what's your go-to? Your kids or spouse or partner, whatever, ask you, oh, could you make this? Or so you're just gonna cut them like that. I can't remember what my favorite meal was. I have no idea. Wonder if my mother remembers. I know pierogies. I liked pierogies. The potato and cheese ones we would always get. I don't know if she would get those at Co-op though, or the grocery store. The grocery store we shopped in at the time was Price Chopper. Price Chopper, back then, in the 80s and 90s, they didn't really have much competition. I believe they might have had maybe ShopRite or something like that. Oh, wait. Oh, what was the name of that? Shop Saros? No. Shop and Save. Shop and Save. But I don't think Shop and Save was there. It was Grants, I remember. I mean, I was a little kid when Grants, I don't even know if Grants was open actually. I just remember my mother told me that she used to work there when she was younger, Grants. This is in New York. But yeah, I remember Price Chopper. And then you had Phase Drugs right next to Price Chopper. So you would go into Price Chopper. This was before Price Chopper had a pharmacy. You'd go in, do your grocery shopping, get your food. And I don't remember, I just remember like going with my Nana to Phase Drugs. And that's where you'd get your toiletries and obviously medication. Actually, some medication, Palmer's in Johnstown and another place in Gloversville, New York, they delivered back then your medication. But you could go to Phase Drugs to fill your prescription. They had a photo department. You drop off your film. Have to wait a week to see it. See what pictures you wanted to keep. Which ones were horrible. Yeah. Now you just click it and you see it. You keep it or you delete it. I was talking to my husband a while back about would you want to live in any other like decades? You know, would you rather have been born in 2000? He was born in 1983. You know, would you rather be born in the end of the 90s, in the 2000s? But him and I both agreed that we enjoyed the 80s and 90s because, you had to play outside, you had to entertain yourself, and we got to learn the technology as it was coming out. You know, we got to see that happen. That was nice. All right, you're gonna wash your potatoes. Okay, and then in a little bowl, hold on, let me get it. Okay. I like to season every layer of my food. So, I'm going to put that in there. Oh, you three as well. You're going to get a paper towel and you're going to dry them. Why? Because if you want like a nice crispy potato, you want them to be dry when they go in the oven. However, the last time I made like potatoes in the oven, I forgot to dry them before oiling them. They came crispy, so it might not be with these specific potatoes. It might be with a russet. They might be a little bit juicier. Okay, so we dried that off. I like to use Tuscan Herb olive oil. I'm just going to put some of that on there. Okay. And then I am going to use some of this. If you've watched me cook, I love this here. This Sprinkle 24 Urban Spices. This is nice. The only place I can find this is on Amazon, though. I would say 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons. It all depends on how many potatoes you're using, you know. You know how to measure stuff. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit, even though that probably has garlic, I'm just going to add a little bit more garlic powder. Okay. Then I'm going to take a spoon. And I'm going to mixy. See that? You're just going to coat them nice. You can use whatever olive oil, whatever seasonings. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Okay. Actually, you know what I want to do? I think what I'm going to do is, okay. See, this is because I'm throwing it together. So, but what I'm going to do is take the chicken out, whatever, and you don't have to use chicken for your meatballs. Use whatever kind of meat you have it. You know, I just took this out last night to defrost because I figured I could think of something to make with ground meat. Okay, so I'm going to spread the potatoes at the bottom of the pan. And then I'm going to set the meatballs on top of the potatoes so the juice of the potatoes can fall, the juice of the meatballs can fall into the potatoes and make them even more savory. Just gonna okay. And then I'm just gonna take these and place it on top of the potatoes. Okay. Next, just because I have them, I'm going to put in some sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just going to take about, probably like, 2 tablespoons. I'm just going to cut them up. I mean, they're already they're already sliced, but I want to just make them a little bit smaller. Okay, then I'm going to take them. I'm going to just sprinkle them through here like that. Actually. Okay. And then, got a couple more missing. See? And then I'm going to put some mushrooms in there. If you don't like mushrooms, then don't do it. Just put in whatever you like. Let's see. What do we have for vegetables? Oh, alrighty here. Let's take a look. We have some broccoli. Okay, I'm going to use this. Maybe I won't put in mushrooms this time. Yeah, what the heck. Let's put in some mushrooms. Okay. So I have some butternut squash. Is that what this is? Yeah. I'm going to put some of that in. Which also I would put on the bottom, but I'm not moving those chicken balls again. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle it in there. I want to make sure I don't get any of the frosty stuff. Okay, sprinkle that in there. Ooh, hands are cold. Okay. And I'm going to throw in some of these seasoned mushrooms. They're better good. I love a better good product. Not the whole bag, just like a handful. You know, just a couple. We don't need to overwhelm the dish with it. And like I say, if you don't want mushrooms, don't put them in there. All right. Now I'm going to cover that with aluminum foil because I don't think I can cook this dish. It's a Rubbermaid. Let's see, can the lid go in the oven? Lid not oven safe. So we're not going to put it in the oven. Okay. So I have my oven on 375. I'm going to check it in like 40 minutes. I'm going to let everything, well, actually I'm going to check it in 30 minutes and then I'm going to take the lid off and see what it looks like because I want the potatoes to get a little, you know, that brown, nice golden brown, and to do that you're going to have to take the aluminum foil off. All right, so there it goes. While that's cooking, I'm just gonna clean up here. Let you know what it looks like in 30 minutes, and if I'm gonna add anything else to it. Like maybe this, this is really good, this butternut squash pasta sauce. I might put some of that on there and layer a little bit more cheese and then let that all melt together and heat up without the aluminum foil on top. I'll let you know. Okay, so I did end up putting this in there. I'm just mixing it around. Let me know if you tried the recipe.